So I got my soda can.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, LaCroix.
Key lime?
Key lime. Is that good?
Nice. Are you a big... I'm surprised it's not Diet Coke.
I did have a diet. I thought about bringing a Diet Dr. Pepper over for both of us, but I thought that's probably too much caffeine this late in the day. I don't know if that's...
Hey, I might need it a couple podcasts from now, but boy, was your name slandered at home groups.
Oh, yeah, by my own children. Yeah.
It is great. The Diet Coke talk. And I loved it because you've got so many children. There's enough for like everyone to be on different sides. And some people are like, hey, it's not
slightly
that bad.
different takes.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Karis was whipping out facts about, you have to do this to get to the limit.
Yeah, she's like, you have to have like 100 or 4,000. I'm surprised Diet Coke's not the official drink of the NBA. Like, I guess actually it might be like the official soft drink, but you don't see Luka Doncic just down in the. He probably should do some more Diet Coke. I feel like he drinks a lot of sweet tea.
Yeah.
But drinks, water bottles.
Water bottles.
You have a water bottle of choice, or
I don't know if it's of choice, as in I tried many out and said this is mine. But I guess we kind of lean Yeti.
Yeti is like. Classic.
Yeah.
Reliable.
The only thing I've found is that some of our kids like miss thread or tighten the little plastic lid.
Yes.
So those can kind of, the threads and the top part, the bottom part's like a hard plastic, but the top part's like a softer plastic. And those,
I see.
So we bought like some replacement tops from Amazon, but we were driving, well, I drove to church early one morning. And you've been at our house.
I have.
It's like as you're leaving and there's like that pond and you turn and there's like a big tree. I was like, oh, there's like a pink water bottle or something there. And Jill saw it and was like, oh, that's weird. And then she drove back. She was like, oh, and she was like, it kind of looked like the same size as Phoebe's Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, where is that one? And she walked down there, and it was that one. And we don't even know how it got there. If it was on a car and got rolled off. But it took a beating. It still works.
Dude, there's something about... like when Yetis came out, I feel like they were revolutionary. Like they really kept your drink cold.
Right.
And then you had all these knockoffs that would do pretty good, but I still say Yeti's better. Like
I think it is too.
It's like I like Yeti better.
When I got my first Yeti, I had some water in it, and I took a drink out of it, and I took a drink later the other day. I was like, man, this is still cold. And then I don't know what happened, but like sat on the counter for like maybe 2 or 3 days. Yeah. And my Jill was like secretly adding ice to it.
Sneaky.
So that when I took a drink, I was like, this is still cold.
This
and they
is
all started
amazing.
laughing. Yeah.
Honestly, I still drink from Yeti today. That's like one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Awala?
I mean, I've seen you use them, but I'm not really familiar with them.
This one's taken a beating. My sister loves Awala, and maybe it was last year.
It's not Koala. It's not Owala.
Yeah, it's Owala.
Owala bear?
Some people have said it's called this because maybe you kind of look like a koala's nose right here. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
I don't know where the name comes from.
Yeah.
My handle is broken off because I've used this a lot where it's got a little handle.
Yeah.
Just take a look at that bad boy.
Yeah. It's fairly light. I think it's lighter maybe compared to what a Yeti the same size.
Yeah, it keeps things cold. It probably doesn't keep things cold quite as long as a Yeti, but it's still great. It's like a little straw in there.
So the straw goes down to the bottom.
So it's on the bottom.
So you can either tip or you can suck it up.
It's actually pretty cool. And in my house, it's cool. This is at you, Vice Principal Jonathan White, because I assume you make all decisions for Northwood, and this was your thing. Awala's banned from Northwood. Banned from Northwood.
Are Yetis banned?
Jonathan, we've got questions. We need answers.
Are you talking about because it's not see-through?
No, you see, that's a normal reason for see-through if like you're worried about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's because it's not spill-proof enough.
Spill-proof enough?
Because it's pretty spill-proof, but I guess kids have dropped it on the ground and it hits the spring and it opens it.
And then it starts. Goop, goop, goop,
yeah, they want you to have water bottles where you have to have like a straw that you have to like
that crimps down or something.
Yeah, or something like that. We have to do exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is pretty spill-proof.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can see how.
No. Don't take his side.
Maybe. I'm not taking his side. I'm saying there might be.
But this is the bigger question is, water bottle culture at these schools is out of control.
I think I saw Mr. White taking water bottles away from students
Probably should have.
as I was walking through. I was walking through with the class, and then he was talking to people, 2 guys, and then he took water bottles and he set them down. He was like, he shook his head, and I was like, "Oh, someone just got in trouble for water bottles." So,
dude,
so he's on the hunt.
My kids, and I'm totally kidding, Jonathan. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just kept going because people think I'm just angry. But my kids in their like 2nd and 3rd grade class, they have like water bottle carts.
Yeah.
That like follows them around to PE. Like the teacher like pushes the cart. I'm like, this is out of control. Like no wonder things fall.
Well, I remember when we were in school, probably when you were in school, if you're thirsty, you ran to the water fountain real quick. You got a drink and you ran back to class.
Water was a privilege.
It was a privilege.
It's like, remember the Titans, like, Coach Boone, like water makes you weak, It's like, you don't need water. Yeah. After recess, you just gulp for dear life because that's the one drink you're going to get for the day. And, Jimmy in front of you's mouth's all over the water. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it is crazy. Dehydration, man. And I don't think we were like fainting and stuff, but we were probably dehydrated,
Yeah. You probably needed the water of life, right? Living water.
Hey! Segue into our podcast. We are talking incarnation. It's Christmas time, right?
Yeah.
We got to.
And this is the carnation instant breakfast, but this is not the carnation instant breakfast. This is the incarnation.
Incarnation. Yeah, very important distinction. We're talking second person of the Trinity. This is the Tuesday before Christmas.
It's Tuesday before Christmas, so this is
Dude, I hope
23rd.
you got your Christmas shopping done. You're running out of time.
Yeah. Hope you do.
So on your way, while you're running to Target or search on Amazon, just keep listening to us. We'll walk you through it.
Yeah. We'll talk you through everything.
We'll talk you through everything you need about in case you're at Target and need to drop some knowledge on the incarnation. We got you. Let's go ahead and take it to the next level.
Let's fire up that twangy music.
From the heart of the Low Country in South Carolina.
It's the Take 2 podcast, where we take theology to the next level. All right, the incarnation, pretty important.
Some would say, yeah.
If you start reading any of the Gospels, it's going to talk about, the birth of Christ, except for the one that's the copy off the other ones, Mark. But John opens up, in the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was with God. He was in the beginning, he was God. And then it talks about all things being made through him, nothing that came into being apart from him. Talks about John the Baptist for a little bit. And then in verse 114, it says, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us.
Love it.
Huge verse. Huge thing on the scene of history of humanity.
And we might talk about this later. I don't know, but this word I've talked about before. This word dwelt.
Yeah.
Greek word. This dwelt is the same. It literally is tabernacle. If you're reading the Septuagint, talking about the tabernacle, it's like that. Again, we last episode talked about this imagery.
That's good.
You see that Jesus. The word tabernacle, it's like, man, that's like so perfect,
That's good. That's more of that's more of a pastoral, but that's great. That's great. Yeah. So the incarnation, it's not just how God is going to achieve our salvation, but it's really, who God reveals himself to be, because we'll read like in Colossians, he is the image of the invisible God. He'll tell Philip, how long have you been with me? If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Those are big, big words. And it's important because a lot of heresies out there,
dude,
and almost every heresy will eventually distort either the Trinity, the nature of the Trinity, salvation, or worship. And of course, Christ and the incarnation is kind of in the center of a lot of that. So we're going to be asking, really what exactly is the incarnation? What changed? What didn't change?
Ooh, that's good. Just as important.
About the second person. So second person of the Trinity, you may know him as Yeshua.
Oh yeah. Call back. Like it.
The eternal Son, the Word. In Greek, that's the Logos. He wasn't created.
That's important. But even if he's the firstborn, not created. Yeah.
Not contingent. not like secondary in essence. We talked about, I was trying to say Arius a few episodes back. I said Athanasius, but he writes a creed. I think we'll talk a little bit about it. But if you read through that creed, you'll see a lot of the stuff that the second person of the Trinity, just like the third person of the Trinity, they have divine nature, divine will, divine glory. So maybe we can split up these texts and read them. Are you already on John?
I am on John.
All right, I'll get Colossians.
Great.
And then
we'll sword drill for Hebrews.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
I love to, easy way to remember, just think of the ones, John 1, Colossians 1, Hebrews 1. You want some good Christology, great places to camp out. John 1, starting in verse 1, reads, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made."
Pretty straightforward. I mean, not easy to understand, but easy to comprehend.
In the beginning was the Word. That's right. That's right. And the Word was God. Very important.
Colossians 1:15, "He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For by him all things were created, both in the heavens and on the earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." Wow.
Yeah, big statement. Before all things. Sometimes this firstborn language trips people up.
Yeah.
Really.
Because it makes you think that there's a beginning. But, like Esau was the firstborn. He had the inheritance rights. So you can think of it like that.
No, that's good. Good clarification. Hebrews 1, long ago, at many times, in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed the heir of all things, through whom also he created the world. He is the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of his nature, and he upholds the universe by the word of his power. After making purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the majesty on high. I like that. Exact imprint of his nature, radiance of the glory of God. All these passages, these strong statements.
Yeah. And just like with the firstborn, the term son, you might think of, some biological, but while Jesus, wasn't, the human was biologically, the second person of the Trinity, we call God the Son, but it's more of like an ontological status than, a biological derivation.
Yeah, I was going to talk about this. It's just too much to talk about, like in the adoption series, but it's like, I think it's good, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but we think about, giving these human characteristics to God, like, God sees all, or, God's hand is extended. Really, it's like the opposite with sonship. This is like a theomorphism where it's like sonship's a God thing that we're kind of borrowing. Right. It's like the opposite. So like for us, it's like biological, but it's like we're, it's ontological. It's, really, it's like a hard thing for us to grasp with the way we use it.
Yep. And then you might also hear that the Son is eternally generated from the Father.
It's confusing, or it's weird. We don't talk about stuff like that.
Yeah, but so if you are very creedal, you may say things like that in your church, but that doesn't mean that there was a beginning when Jesus became, because it's like this eternal relationship between them. So it always is that way.
Yeah. That's good. So let's talk about the incarnation proper. Let's get down to Bethlehem. What happened? The eternal Son, talked about this, assumes a complete human nature. And I think even in Philippians 2, when people use like this term kenosis, sometimes it can be confusing. Like, what's that? What does it mean to assume a human nature?
Yeah.
Is it like we combine these and split the difference? Did we get rid of one nature? How does this work together? Because that is important.
No, I think that is very good, because God cannot cease to be God. So the second
even
person,
like definition, like it just can't happen, right? Yeah,
right. He can't give up his godship, and we're not saying that there was some mixture of. It's not like he's Hercules, like a demigod.
That's good.
So he is fully divine, doesn't give up that, but he adds to that person the human nature. Easy to say, not always easy to understand what's going on.
This other one you have in here, some heresies that develop. It's like, okay, he had like the body, like you're mixing like the mind with the body, or it's like you're like taking pieces and like mashing them together, kind of almost.
Yeah, it's not like there was a human and they just zapped out the mind and just put a divine mind in it to control it. So there was a really human mind there that developed, learned how to tie his shoes, assuming they had shoelaces back then.
That's right. He was out of his time.
Learned how to speak 2 languages.
Yeah,
all those things. Learned how to cut stone. He had to do all that stuff.
And I think you nailed it too. It's a good way to think about it is like at this addition. That is good.
Yeah.
Don't think subtraction. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And so our key phrase here, he became what he was not without ceasing to be what he already was. So
well, thank goodness for the Chalcedonian formula, because that's like the go-to. You're like, I hope I didn't say something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mixing and the divided and the, not confusing the natures. It's like, it's all there.
Yeah. And so, the Chalcedonian formula doesn't necessarily help you understand it necessarily.
Yeah, true.
But it keeps you from error. Like, so if you can say what you're saying
that's right,
and it aligns with the Chalcedonian formula, you're probably okay. So it's just going to kind of give you these guardrails of, what's true and what's not true. So Jesus Christ, this human, Yeshua, Miach, right?
Nice.
Right? Something like that. We get some Jewish listeners to correct our pronunciation. I guess you'd have to be a Messianic Jew probably if you're.
That's true. That's a good point.
So one person. So this hypostasis. So there's one person,
and
there.
This is like the basis. Yeah. Hypostatic union, also weird term. You don't talk about hypostasis a lot. That's good though.
So one person, 2 natures, divine and human, and those 2 natures are held without confusion, without change, without division, without separation. So
yeah, that's good. That's the without. They're not confused, not changed, not divided, not separated. Keywords, because you can think about the opposites. If there is confusion, if it changes, God's no longer God, God's no longer man. That's a problem. There is this division. There, you look and that's when you start running into all these heresies left and right.
Yeah. Yeah. So some of the heresies, Nestorianism would basically say there's 2 persons there. Euchianism, blended natures, and Apollinarianism, incomplete humanity. So not really a human.
Yeah. So if we're like talking about, if the Apollinarianism, not a human because he's incomplete. The Eutychus one, it's like almost like an alien. It's nothing. It's neither of the 2. And then Nestorianism is just 2 that's a weird one to me. If you're 2 separate persons, that's
like fighting each other. It's like literally the 2 like the 2 things on the shoulders. So if Christ isn't fully human, it's hard to see how he redeems humanity. Like he can't be the second Adam if he's not fully human. But if he's not fully God, then it's hard to see how he redeems humanity, because one human could, in theory, pay the price for one other human. But the Father lays on him, in a space of about 3 hours, enough punishment that he can look at that and say, okay, that's paid your eternal sins. So one human couldn't do that by himself, I don't think.
That's right. Even perfect life, one human, can't redeem all of humanity. I don't know if this is in the notes or not, but follow-up question. So we have one person, 2 natures.
Yeah.
Will goes with the natures rather than persons.
Yes.
Where Christ would have 2 wills, his human will submitting to the divine will.
I read it and I go, okay, if you say so, because 2 wills almost seems like it gets back to a little bit of Nestorianism.
You kind of get this
two people.
Yeah, and it's tough with Christ being the exception. I guess Now, I guess we'll talk about it later with the EFS or the ESS. This is a big thing with wills and all of this kind of thing, So this will be good. But before we get there, Athanasius, baby.
Athanasius, he gave us a creed, not Apollo creed. the Athanasian Creed. But this is a long creed. You should look it up, read it. But some of the core affirmations from it: one God in Trinity in unity. Another place to get a good reference for the creed is Lutheran satires.
Wonderful.
If you just Google Lutheran satire and the Trinity, you'll get the St. Patrick one. But one God in Trinity in unity, no confusion of persons, no divisions of substances. Christ is God from the substance of the Father, man for the substance of his mother. And so you would say he's equal to the Father as touching the Godhead and inferior to the Father as touching his manhood.
That's right. And I don't know if you know this or not. Godhead, manhood, it's like the same. Like you don't say Godhood. Yeah. Godhead is manhood. It's like the same words, just how they. Because I always wondered, like, why is it the Godhead?
Yeah. So you're saying that's translate that out of. Was there a language? Was there?
I think there's a language thing when it might have been like manhead, or I don't know. It's like, but it's like that. That's like what you're getting at.
Right. Yeah. So there's those are parallelism.
Yeah. Exactly.
So why does all this matter? Well, it grounds subordination where it belongs in the incarnate economy, not in the eternal being of God, because God the Son is God, and so there's this question about, in eternity, was God the Son subordinate to the Father, or were they co-equal, co-divine?
This is very this, I think, on one hand, is a very simple solution.
Yeah.
It seems very crazy because I don't know if you follow this argument, but it's a lot with like people like Bruce Ware and Wayne Grudem, and like are on the wrong side of like a lot of your like pop theologians that are different than maybe some of your more confessional, like more that fall. I don't know. It seems like it's a big dividing line.
He's for eternal subordination of the Son?
Well, I don't know if he is or not. The way his 1994 systematic theology read, people accuse him of this.
Yeah.
He updated his newer systematic where it's more vague. Like it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's weird. And then if you talk about Bruce Ware, which I think is out of like Southern and stuff, he has like he's on the wrong side of it. It's really like, I don't know. We can talk about it more because on one hand it seems simple, but where I'm curious to get your thoughts because a lot of people push back is like Wayne Grudem would say like it's like a husband, wife, daughter, Trinity relationship.
Right.
They would say that is ESS, EFS is what the people on the other side, that's like, you can't use that analogy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's like where, and I don't know, maybe this is getting too much pedantic and in the minutia or whatever, but we can paint it big picture first. It's probably better than all these details.
Yeah. So eternal subordination of the Son, you want to break that down for us? What that is?
So I'll follow these notes here. The claim is the Son, we know from a human standpoint, not my will, but if Christ has two wills, human will subordinate to the divine will.
Right.
The question is, like you were saying, in history, like ontologically, like is the Son eternally, functionally subordinate to the Father? And the concern is, do you have this hierarchy? Like, is that a problem? If they are truly co-equal, are you breaking up the natures? Like, are they all of one will? Is there one will with God? Or does God, divinity, have separate wills that are just perfectly in sync? These are the kinds of questions,
Would it, to use the husband-wife analogy, so even if you are a complementarian, which I am, I think you probably are as well, right?
Patriarchy, baby. No, I still like the term complementarian. I think it's good. Yeah.
So you would say that you and Leanne are equal in value.
Yes.
But different in roles.
Yeah.
So where would that, if someone were to try to apply that language here, equal in value, equal in divinity, but different in roles, would that align under ESS, eternal subordination of the Son?
Yeah, and I think the problem gets like, you can't make this perfect analogy, like, because no disagreement in the Godhead. If there's a disagreement between you and Jill, like, who gets to put their foot down, or it's a different it's a different analogy, and I think that's what makes it hard or a hard process, but there is a lot of fighting on the interwebs about this kind of stuff and how much you want to push, or how much is like a helpful analogy that maybe you don't press on every single point of the analogy, but it kind of, no analogy is probably going to be perfect anyway, you know?
So what are the key differences between ESS and EFS? It's just whether it's in the economic Trinity alone versus in the ontological Trinity. Those are the key differences?
I don't know. I don't know enough about this. I've seen some of these used like interchangeably, but maybe people don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Do people generally, they kind of are the same?
That's me watching people fight on Facebook. That's my observation, not being like a scholar on the space. It seems like, and maybe the people arguing don't.
So if ESS and EFS are kind of in one corner, what's in the other corner? What is there an acronym or name for that? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I don't know if there's an acronym. Like the other side of it would say like, hey, we're Orthodox Christianity. like they're like.
They don't have a name for it.
I don't know if there is a name. Like this is usually used like, I always see it very pejoratively used of Wayne Grudem and Bruce Ware. It's like very like, people are like, recommended systematic theology. It's like, Wayne Grudem's is great. People are like, he's EFS, right? Like that's like, that's like the thing you see a lot. And they're like, people are like, what's EFS? And they're like, well, he thinks the Son is less than the Father. And that it's like caricature, you know, kind of.
Because Wayne would not say that.
Because Wayne would not say that at all. No. Exactly.
I mean, I was just talking to him the other day, and he didn't say that.
I think all these people having these fights, I think, would not be painted. I think it'd be hard. I would be curious to find someone who would really embrace this in the Orthodox Christianity space. You know what I mean? I think that would be hard pressed.
Do we know people who do that really embrace it?
I don't think so. I think it's all like these people that
it's just
that
like
are
what
accused.
You said amounts to this.
Yeah, and I think it does get confusing because everyone would grant economically versus ontologically. Like there is a difference in how we see the Trinity function normally versus at the essence, you know?
Well, instead of us arguing about it, let's just see what the Bible has to say about it.
Beautiful.
All right, so this is Philippians 2:5-11. Often, we would refer to this as the kenosis or the emptying of Christ and his privileges. So Philippians 2:5 says, have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in Christ Jesus, who, although he existed in the form of God, and that form, I don't like it in English because I know it comes from a stronger word in the Greek, because we can just think of form and it's a weaker sense than what it is. But it would be like in the essence or in the nature of God. So although he existed in the form of God, did not regard equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself, taking the form of a bondservant and being made in the likeness of man. Being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. For this reason also God highly exalted him and bestowed on him the name which is above every name. So at the name of Yeshua, every knee will bow, of those who are in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and that every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. So there we go.
Classic text.
So that's what the Bible has to say about it.
No, it's great. I'm trying to look up. There's a good. I will have to look at it a little bit later, but Kevin DeYoung's got a good piece on this because I like Kevin DeYoung. I think he's very balanced on it, and he would be a guy who'd be like EFS, ESS, not what I'm about, but he's like, this is what people probably mean, or it's like, he's like more on that, hey, I don't think that's the right way to talk about it, but Wayne Grudem's not a crazy person, kind of thing versus like all this stuff. I was trying to see the where it breaks down. It's always Wayne Grudem, it's Bruce Ware, John Doms, George Knight, and these people are always kind of at odds. But I think Wayne Grudem's been like asked about this, and he's like, he was like, I don't want to. He's like, this is not a fight. I'm trying to I'm not, so
that's what someone who is an ESS would say.
Right. So anyway, for further reading, I was going to try to find it, but I think Kevin DeYoung's got a good balance, accessible
if we do
piece.
find it, we can link it in the notes or something.
That,
Someone can go read
it.
Yeah.
That would be good because I think he brings like a good academic bent to it that's accessible. That's like, okay, we're getting good stuff, but anyway, there you go.
All right. So we touched on, so hopefully, just to clear the air. So maybe like the last 10 minutes, you'd be like, I don't know what Zach and Michael are saying. So just to clear the air. There's, obviously we know that in his incarnation, Jesus Christ, the man, submitted his will to God the Father. And he was obedient to what the Father, had him do. He went out and he fasted for 40 days because the Father told him to. Satan tempts him. He says, you had the power to turn this rock into bread. Why don't you do it? Well, I'm being obedient to the Father. I'm going to do what the Father told me to do, and he told me to fast. You see in the Garden of Gethsemane, hey, is there any way for this cup to pass from me? Because, it's not going to be great.
Right.
But
That's right.
Not my will, your will, Father. I'm going to obey you. So that's clear. And what we would call that is the economic Trinity. Basically, the economy, the job of getting salvation done. The different parts of the Trinity play different roles in achieving salvation for us. That Trinitarian relationship is thought to probably be different in their, if you could talk about their pure state before creation, if we can use a tense verb there, without creation, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, being in perfect harmony. The question is, were there grades of elevation there in authority, or were they all equal? And so that is the heart of the question that is being asked here. And some people may go, I don't know why that matters. I'm going to read the Bible and I'm going to do what it says. But it's a curiosity because we want to understand who our God is. Will we fully understand him ever? No, but we're told to try to understand him. And so when we try to understand him, we peer into these questions.
I think you're right. And I'm just skimming over this Kevin DeYoung article. And I think what gets to the heart of it, I think everyone's like in the same ballpark. People like Kevin DeYoung and people that would say, hey, we got the orthodoxy thing wrapped up, basically say, when you're talking about the Trinity, just use begotten or proceeds, or like just use the creedal language. Once you say like subordinate and roles, even if you mean the same thing, it carries weight baggage to them. And reading it, he's like, I think we're on the same page, kind of. He's like, just stick to creedal language, and then you're like safe. I think is like, it's more than that, but I think that's what I'm seeing the dividing line is. You're not saying, but I think people like Wayne Grudem try to make it more accessible because you have to explain the vocabulary, you know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah. All right. So we have in our notes, and I'm looking at the time, we do have in the notes a section on supra versus infralapsarianism.
Love it.
We did talk about this slightly. So maybe we can quickly hit this and then move on. So infralapsarianism would be that basically like a logical order.
That's right. That's
would
important.
be that God decreed creation, and out of the creation, then he decrees the fall, and then in response to the fall, decrees redemption in Christ. And so, in a logical order of succession, the incarnation is God's response to sin. Whereas supralapsarianism would say God decrees election in Christ. Like he called, he's like, I want a people to myself. And in order to achieve that, then he decrees creation and fall as a means to achieve his election of people.
That's good because I think it's challenging. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it, where I think in my mind, it'd be great, like infra would be great because it's like, oh, we're just going with the flow. But that's what I would do. I would see things unfold and react. Where I think supra lends itself more to
God being
this is
God.
my master plan. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I probably would lean supra because, there's key texts, Ephesians 1:4-10, where God predestines us before the foundation of the world. Colossians 1:18 we read. Revelation 13:8. So those scriptures would kind of hint at, this long-term view of God of creating people for himself. All right. One of your favorite topics, the wills of Christ.
The wills.
Last will and testament. Is that the type of will we're talking about?
Oh yeah, I love this because this was at one of the councils. Affirmed at Constantinople the Third. They actually settled this.
Yeah.
This is great. I listened to a lecture by Bob Godfrey with Ligonier, and he's like, I asked this question like day one seminary students, be like, that's a heresy. Like I like to catch them off. One will or two will, because it's like but yeah, kind of nailed it down where Christ does have a divine will and a human will.
Yeah.
Not in conflict. Yeah. That human will went along subordinate to the divine will and freely submitted to it. But that's important because when the text you talked about, we talked about Gethsemane, that's
it's
human
real obedience.
It's real. It's not just hey, the human will did submit.
Yeah.
And that's important, right? Christ redeems humanity willingly, not just totally bypassing it. And then some questions with worship.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think we don't take it all the way here, which is pretty cool. But if Christ is less than God or less than man, that impacts who we're worshiping and how we worship, right?
Yeah, if he's less than God, then we shouldn't be worshiping him.
Yeah, that's bad. That's like against 10 Commandments. You ever heard of them?
Yeah. But if he's less than fully human, then salvation becomes like this abstract. It's not really like he really is who he is. So the incarnation of Christ is God's not distant. He came near us. I was talking to Joel about this. There's a guy at our church that we were talking to who's struggling with some things, and he didn't want to talk with me and some others. And I was like, Hebrews says that Jesus was tested like us, but sinless, so that he, can sympathize with you. He can sympathize with us in our struggles. It's like, how much more can a fallen human sympathize with another brother? We can sympathize with each other. Like we know that there can be tough times. But really, this incarnation does mean that we have someone who was tested like us, who went through what it means to be tired, to be, tempted to be angry without cause, those things, and went through that, sinlessly. But he can still relate to us.
Man, that is good. Maybe for a different podcast, we should talk about the impeccability of Christ. Like, could he have sinned or could he not have sinned? It's a good question, and some people put great weight into, well, if he couldn't have sinned, or I don't know, you know what I mean.
Right.
But we will land the plane with this podcast. Good things to ponder as we are in this Christmas season. I like that. This incarnation, that God's not only transcendent, but he is very intimate, not totally distant. So think about the eternal Son, the one who did not cling to his rights, but he took on flesh to accomplish our salvation. What's that say about the shape of what true power looks like, what true obedience looks like, true glory, and what it looks like?
Yeah. Yep, that's what he did for us, and that's what we're hopefully singing about.
There you go.
Those hymns, Joy to the World, right? Christmas hymn.
That's right. I love it. That's good.
All right.
Add it to that's all I got. I think we covered a lot of good things to think about. When in doubt, it's good to read over those creeds.
That's good.
Grasp onto that language.
All right, that's our take.
Thanks for listening to Take Two. Find us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube for those who want to watch our videocast.